Okay, cool. So just a brief heads up. This is kind of more for we like to go through people's lives. I know that obviously you're a very accomplished marketer and stuff like that. But I want people to know more of who you are on a more in-depth basis and like where you come from, your background, how you
Some
grew up, and
one
then
minute,
where you got
Sarah.
to today. So, although I will ask some more technical questions, I'll be most of the emphasis will be on you and how you became yourself, today. Um, that's okay with you? Hello?
Okay, yeah, sounds good. I'm ready.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna start the intro and then we'll just go from there.
Cool.
Um, put this up. All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 5 of the Outliers. Today, we have a special guest who has been extremely pivotal in my journey as an entrepreneur and has helped me become a better marketer. Get ready, as his resume is incredibly impressive. He is a co-founder of Kiss Metrics, Crazy Egg, Hello Bar, as well as the founder of Quick Sprout. He is a New York Times best-selling author and has helped companies such as Amazon, Google, Airbnb, Microsoft, and so much more grow through his marketing efforts. The Wall Street Journal calls him the top influencer on the web, and he was recognized by President Obama as a top 100 entrepreneur under the age of 30, and so much more. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Neil Patel. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Doing great, doing great. Thank you so much. Um, so yeah, like I said earlier, I want to take this story piece by piece. You're a very unique individual. How did your parents play into this? Where are they from?
Mom's from India. Dad's parents are from India, but my dad was born in Uganda.
Okay,
And they eventually ended up migrating over to the United Kingdom. I was born there, and then my mom wanted to live in a warmer climate, so we moved to sunny Southern California.
nice. And so, do you have dual citizenship? Citizenship then?
I do. I'm UK and US.
Nice. Where is, if you don't mind me asking, your parents from in India? I guess where they're from.
Gujarat.
Gujarati. Oh, okay, nice. So my mom is also actually from close to there as well. So we got that similar background.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So when you moved to California, how old were you?
One or two? I was a baby.
Okay, so most of your childhood, then, I guess, was growing up here in California.
Yeah, exactly. Spent
Nice.
most of my life in California. Eventually moved to Seattle. Tried that out for a little bit. Many years actually. Loved it. Then also moved to Vegas eventually, and I'm still here in Vegas.
Okay, nice. And so when you came here to California, right? Obviously, you know, moving is never a really easy thing, especially moving from country to another country. I'm sure your parents had some struggles with that. But you growing up, um, did you go to public school, private school,
Public.
public school? And how do
I
you think
think.
that shaped you?
Uh, Keep in mind, like going to private school or public school. I don't know what private school is like, but you're shaped by your environment. I didn't know that there was a lot more wealth or different type of life for a lot of other people other than watching shows like MTV Cribs, right back in the day. But other than that, I wasn't too familiar with the concept of, oh, here's public school, this is going to be different than private or anything like that. It was school. That's all that I really knew of. I didn't really understand the concept of private school when I was that young either.
Mm-hmm. Got you. So with that, I read that somewhere you started your first business at 15 years old. Is that true?
15 and a half, yeah.
So what was the motivation for that starting so young? I guess like in high school, right?
It was simple. I wanted a six-figure job, so I was looking on monster.com for six-figure jobs. I couldn't find one. So then I ended up creating my own job board because I saw how much money Monster was making. And I was like, huh, if I make 1% of what they make, I'll be a millionaire. Life doesn't really work out that way, but
Yeah.
that's how I started the first business, which was a job board. It failed miserably. No one came to it. Eventually, I had to learn marketing. That's how I got into marketing. and I fell in love with marketing at that time because I was really good at driving traffic. Didn't really know how to make money from a job board, but I just loved the concept of marketing, so I focused more on that.
Awesome. So stemming from that, 15 years old, I'm guessing you put a year or two into it, maybe more,
Few years, yeah.
a few years into it, and then by this point you're coming up into college territory. I'm guessing applying to colleges and stuff like that. What was your mindset from that point, maybe your junior, senior year in high school, thinking ahead of, hey, maybe this is a direction I want to take my life. Do I want to go into a top college? Do I want to go into maybe like a lower college and succeed? Maybe junior college, JUCO route. What was your mindset like going into that next stage of your life?
Yeah, there really wasn't much mindset. Like I was just trying to make money, right? Didn't
Yeah,
grow up with a ton of it. I was just trying to make a lot of money, and that's all I wanted. And making money because you want to be rich. And I'm not saying I am rich right now, but it's a bad way to start a business. You start businesses to try to solve problems. And during my day and age, I'm not that old. I'm 37, but when I was younger, the only real way to make money for most people was you go get a college degree and then you get a good job.
yeah,
So the job board wasn't working out. While I was in high school at 16, I was also taking nighttime college classes at a community college because I was like, I just want to be done with this college thing and everything and just get into the workplace. My first class was Speech 101. I gave a speech on how Google works and how to market on Google. Someone in there was a sales rep at a power supply manufacturer, and they're like, we're looking for someone like you. And he introduced me to his boss, and his boss gave me a gig for 5 grand a month. That's how
wow.
I started out.
So right time, right place, I guess.
Bingo. You got it right. Right time, right place. Did amazing results for them or provided amazing results. We drove over 50% of their new leads from the website through our efforts.
Wow.
And from there, what they ended up doing is they introduced us to a few more companies. And next thing you know, 16, pulling in around 20 grand a month.
16 making $20,000 a month.
Well, there was expenses. That was the
Yeah.
revenue, right? But it was mainly all profit. And
And
that's how it started.
what year was that?
Oh, 2021-ish.
2021?
Yeah. I mean, not
Uh,
2001, sorry, not 2021.
yeah, I was about to say, okay, time. 2001. That is insane. I mean, I'm just trying to put into perspective. 20,000 today is very, very well, but 20,000 in 2001 is a whole different ballpark. That's like it's like a different time. It's like a different era, honestly. Gas was probably, I don't know, $2 a gallon back then.
Something like that. I don't know what the prices were, but it was much more affordable than what it is now.
Yeah.
Homes were
Um,
much more affordable. That I know. You could have
yeah.
bought a home back then for, I don't know, 300 grand, 200 grand, at least where my parents live. Now their home is close to 8, 900 grand.
Wow.
So,
Did you get into real estate early then from that point when making
oh,
money?
no, 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 no. Never really got too much into real estate. I own some homes. Um, I'm not a big fan of real estate. I know some people love it, but not a big fan of real estate.
Got you. Well, I appreciate that. So shifting more into, I guess, social media and marketing now. Uh, kick it off with what's your top three favorite social media platforms right now?
Top three social media platforms that I love right now. Let's see. I love Instagram. I love Reels. They're
Hmm.
entertaining for me. I love LinkedIn. It's great for B2B. And I love YouTube because it keeps producing evergreen social media traffic.
It's a perfect answer. And why do you think you prefer Reels over something like TikTok?
I've just had an Instagram account and it was easier to go on there and view it. And there's probably amazing Reels on TikTok. Uh, don't really care to download the app. I have nothing against it. My team
Yeah,
posts my content on TikTok and Instagram, but like for me, it's just fun to look at news and reels and all that kind of stuff on Instagram. I can do the same on TikTok. I just got to download the app, but when I already get it from Instagram, I don't really care to have a second app that shows me the same thing.
that's true. I can see that point. You mentioned LinkedIn, which is interesting. For B2B, you said. how do you feel about the new, I guess, creators coming over to LinkedIn, trying to create content for LinkedIn, similar to like Reels or TikTok?
I think it's great. I think there's a lot of opportunity on LinkedIn. It's still untapped, and I think most people aren't focusing on it when they should be. It's one of the most powerful networks out there. It's one of the few ones where you can close a multi-million dollar deal. It's harder to do that from YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. But if you're in B2B and especially B2B enterprise, LinkedIn is the place to be.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I've seen a lot of people. I own a talent agency for creators. That's my primary job. So I help creators get brand deals and stuff like that. So LinkedIn for me is a vital tool to connect with people and businesses to then go ahead and link them with the creators. So I definitely understand where you're coming from. And I was actually at a finance conference in Florida a couple months ago, and I saw the LinkedIn, I think the lead for the creators or something, and she was telling me how LinkedIn the 2023 they want to really focus on the creator aspect and bringing a lot of creators in. So I'm actually very hopeful. So anybody watching this, please do start LinkedIn. I highly recommend that platform. Um, Again, on top of that though, as well, going back to social media, you provide an enormous amount of content and information for free. I know a lot of people nowadays, they like to gatekeep behind paywalls and stuff like that. However, you provide the most valuable I've ever seen. You can go to your page and just watch all of your YouTube videos and become a successful marketer, in my opinion. Why do you do that?
I love teaching. Don't really care to monetize content. I think it's also a bad business model. I get New York Times and Wall Street Journal and all those people have those content gates and it probably makes some good money. I think there's much better business models out there than just charging for content. Um, and when I mean content, like educational based material, I think that kind of stuff should also be free. I get you need to charge for content like what Netflix is providing because it can cost $100 million to make a movie, right? But it doesn't cost $100 million for me to film a YouTube video. It's like cheap to almost nothing. I can do it on my phone, or it doesn't cost, millions of dollars to write a blog post. Again, it just takes some of my time.
Got you. And do you see that people reciprocate, I guess, that energy of thank you for this free, valuable entertainment or free, valuable information? I will now follow you across your platforms or like follow you to whatever product you're going to lead me to, I guess, eventually, or
You get a little
company.
bit of that, not as
Yeah.
much as you would think.
Uh huh.
Um, for me, it's just like when you put out goodwill, I believe in karma, it just ends up coming back. But more so look at it as branding. If you want to do really well in whatever industry you are, you need to show your expertise, authority, and build trust. And one of the best ways to do that is to just create a lot of free content. Don't get me wrong, as much as I love helping out people for free, there's a benefit for creating content and releasing for free. It really helps grow your brand. And that brand can end up driving a lot of future revenue. Great example of this is Kylie Jenner or LeBron James or Christian Ronaldo. Like, look at the contract he just got, for playing in Saudi. It's massive.
Mm-hmm. Are you a big sports fan yourself?
No, I'm not.
No. Okay. Um, it's all good. I ask this question to a lot of people. I find the people that do get into sports, they typically have a certain demeanor towards their businesses as well. You seem like a person that would love sports, so I just wanted to ask.
I watch basketball and I watch football, but it's not like I'm like crazy about a specific team or anything like that. I do have my teams for basketball and football, but still, it's just like whatever happens, happens. If my team loses, it doesn't like ruin my day or anything like that.
Yeah. What's your team for basketball?
Lakers, because grew up in Southern California, and football is Seahawks, because I lived in Seattle for a very long time.
Yeah, actually, we're gonna have to bring you out to a Lakers game sometime.
There you go. You're based in SoCal?
I'm based in Fresno. However, I go to SoCal for work all the time because creators are there.
Nice.
Yeah. So moving back onto the social media track, I know a lot of creators right now, especially the ones that are people I've been talking to in the space as well. Some of them are a little bit iffy. Some of them are okay. But with this recession coming up, or within the midst of a recession, as a creator, what advice do you have for people to stay motivated and stay on track, especially with people or with the talks of like this is gonna die, social media might die, you might not get paid anymore. People are getting scared and pushed away. What
It's
advice do you have for
actually
them?
it's going the opposite direction. More of these guys are trying to compensate creators.
Mm-hmm.
More of the platforms want creators and they're willing to pay some money for it. So I wouldn't worry about social media dying or any of that. Look how much time people spend on social media. They need all these creators to go and create content to keep having that attention.
Got you. I guess it's more from um a brand's perspective, but I can see from a platform perspective where they would want people to keep coming back because
It's the same for a brand's perspective. There's attention there. These platforms are popular. You can either create content and you can get eyeballs or you don't and you won't. And there's nothing wrong. It's up to a business on what to do. But why wouldn't you want as big of an audience as possible and more people visiting the business and generating sales?
hmm that makes sense. So with that, what advice would you have? I guess we'll switch gears slightly. If you're Twitter in Twitter's position right now, trying to monetize content, what would your strategy be to go ahead and implement that? Would you copy YouTube's model? Would you go TikTok? What would you say is the best way for Twitter to go to help creators monetize on the platform?
So, best way for creators to monetize, wait, which platform or any platform or?
Twitter specifically, yeah, because I know they're trying to start,
Yeah.
having creators on there and start creating content for just Twitter. So, what would your advice be?
Best way to monetize Twitter is actually not directly. Best way to monetize Twitter is build relationships. I think it's one of the great social networks out there to really build relationships with other really influential people, and those connections can help you out in your future. So look at Twitter as a place where you're just really networking and brainstorming and getting to know others.
Okay, and so, but with that, how would the creator monetize off of that?
It's relationships. You build the relationships. So for example, I may build a relationship with you and you have an agency from what it sounds like that you help with creators and content production, etc., or talent. And imagine I have an agency called NP Digital, which funny enough I do. Um, and we end up partnering together and it drives us both revenue. That's what I mean, like build relationships.
Got
Or
you.
you could be tweeting on there, building relationships with people. You're like, I'm going to release a makeup product. Oh, I know someone on there who can actually get it done and help white label it and produce the product I'm looking for, right? Use Twitter to build a network, build a
Okay,
relationship.
got you. I understand that. I think. Sorry, my question I may have rephrased it wrong. Question was, I know Twitter is trying to do a similar model such as YouTube to like help pay creators from that, like that type of model. Do you think that would work? I guess is that my more question. Like
Paying
you like
people always
a
paying
profit
people
split.
always helps push
Yeah,
out more content if that's what you need.
yeah,
Um, ideally, the product people love it where they don't need to be paid.
yeah. I
There's
see.
nothing wrong with getting paid. I'll take it. But at the end of the day, if you pay people on any platform, you'll get more people to come over with audiences.
Got you. I saw somewhere as well that said you pay around $180,000 a month. Is that true? If not, how much do you pay a month
Pay for what?
to live your life? I guess what's your monthly expense to burn rate?
I don't know the exact amount, but yeah, it's over 2 mil a year easily. Maybe a little bit more, maybe 2.5, 3. I don't know the
Oh
exact.
wow,
I haven't checked.
that's quite a number from um what makes you want to spend that much? And this is all personal expenses, right? These are not are these business expenses included into this?
No, no, personal expenses. Um, it depends. Vacations are expensive. We donate a lot of money. Um, we actually don't buy that many clothes or watches or jewelries or anything like that. We don't really have car payments that are too crazy or anything like that. I think we have one car payment. The rest are all paid off. The one that we have is a lease. I don't know exactly where the expenditures go. We have quite a bit of house staff that helps us out. Schooling for the kids is expensive. Donations are expensive. Donations probably put us way over the 3 mark. Um, this is cost of living. Things are more expensive. They don't need to be this expensive. We can cut back. We don't have to do as nice vacations. We'll go on a vacation. It may end up costing 200-300 grand just for a vacation for a few weeks or a week, right? We can cut
Wow.
back in many ways, but
Yeah.
you know,
What's with that? I would love to take a $200,000 vacation. That's a goal. um, what
I
is
prefer sitting
something
at home.
that?
We can trade. I'd rather sit at home and work.
Yeah. Well, that's another reason, I guess. Some people say that their time right away is more expensive than the vacation itself. So, for example, you maybe stepping away for a few weeks would
I
cost you
still work
more.
during vacation, so
Okay.
um, but yeah, but like private aviation probably is like $700,000 of my annual bill. I don't need
Oh,
that
wow.
anymore. I've been cutting that back. I've been cutting that out almost fully. The only time I use private aviation now is if I'm going with the kids, because one's three, one's one. It's a pain to take them through the airport. But if I'm going
Yeah.
myself, like if I'm going wherever in the US, even when I go see my parents, I'll fly there. I'll even fly in economy.
Okay. So you're not just out here ridiculously spending money all the time then.
We have a lot of bills with like household staff and stuff like that, and we
Yeah.
pay them really well because we believe in paying people well, and we believe they deserve it.
That's a good way of putting things. I've read that a lot. And can you just touch on that quickly? Is would you rather spend why does somebody spend more on quality people and less quality people versus paying more people less? What's the benefits of just paying some people a lot of money, just good quality people, versus a quantity of people that may accomplish the same thing?
There's no right or wrong approach. A lot of businesses have succeeded by volume. Some businesses focus on quality. I find it easier to hire quality people because then they're just doers and you don't really need to micromanage. When you hire cheaper labor and you need a lot of it, a lot of times you have to micromanage. And as long as you have the systems and processes in place, the cheaper labor can work out. But I just find it easier to just hire more qualified talent. It tends to cause your business to grow faster. On a personal side, why do I do that? Makes my wife and I happy. There's no real justification other than,
Hmm.
we love our staff, we see them as family, and why not take care of them?
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense to me. And with the donations, just going back real quick, you said you donate a lot, right? That's one of your guys' things, you and your wife. Um, what was the reasoning behind that? Why do you donate so much?
Well, I don't think we donate that much in the grand scheme of things. Bill Gates or Warren Buffett, they do way better and way more good than my family does any day of the week. They probably do more good in one day with a check than what we can do in a lifetime. Um, But it makes us happy. We believe that there's other people in this world who are struggling and need the money more than us or our children.
Is there any way that people that watch this around that can help maybe your efforts? Do you guys do like funding projects at all, or is it just all personally through yourselves?
When we donate,
Yeah, like do you guys like have like, oh, we're gonna donate this, we can all hop on, like you guys will lead the, or is it just more like personally, oh, we're gonna do this on our own time?
that's my wife picks whatever causes she likes, and then she gets involved in the community and writes checks wherever she wants. I don't
Okay, so
get too
she,
involved in the process and picking the causes.
okay, so she's
It's not like
mostly
a
heading
group
that.
thing. Yeah, it's not a group thing where we get a lot of people together and we're like, let's do this. We're already donating to established organizations,
Okay, got you,
like a St. Jude or Make-A-Wish Foundation or stuff like that.
got you. So switching back to the marketing, um, because a lot of people, including myself, would call you personally. I would call you the king of marketing, just from the standpoint of you and the value you've provided to me. Um, from a psychology standpoint, how much do you think that plays in marketing versus just playing the numbers? How much does human psychology, understanding humans, how much does that play versus just purely number aspect?
Well, first off, you're too kind. I don't know if I'm the king of marketing. There's a lot of amazing marketers out there. Some really well known, some not well known, but they're just really good at what they do. I would say marketing, it's not a data game or a psychology game. It's a combination of everything. If you don't do it all and you don't do it all well, it's not going to work.
That's a good answer. when I first got into it as well, I purely was trying to take both aspects. When you got into it, it's a different time. How have you seen the market evolve over from 2001 when you first got that $20,000 check to now? What is the biggest differences you've seen between then and now?
Way more platforms, way more tools and technology that makes life easier. Much better skill set in the labor force to help you really grow and expand. But again, if I had to pick one, the biggest changes, omni-channel is really important. When I first started, you were able to build a business off of one channel. That no longer is the case. You have no choice but to take an omni-channel approach these days.
Okay, so you're saying that everybody or every creator should be working on multiple platforms, not just solely one.
Correct.
Got you. And I'm curious about this. What's your? I don't know if I've seen too many of these from you. What is your take on live streaming? How would you rank that in social media terms?
Live streaming is really important. Instagram wants more of it. A lot of social networks want more of it. I personally don't do it too often. I just don't have the time. But I think live streaming is super important.
Got you. I do think that's true as well. A lot of people need to be getting more into it. At the end of this, we're just gonna get some of your thoughts on some random topics here. So what's your take on the whole FTX situation?
Uh, you know, we'll see what ends up happening as the courts unveil it all, but it kind of sucks that people don't have their money. Not even kind of, it does suck.
Yeah.
I don't know how that happened or what caused it. There's a lot of articles that are out there, but I think the government will figure it out, or governments, because I think a lot of them are involved from different countries, like Bahamas and the United States. But time
Hmm.
will tell. I just know something's off. How is all that money disappearing, or where'd
Yeah.
it go?
Exactly. I think it was like right 8 billion or something
It was
along those
something
lines.
ridiculous. Yeah.
Did you were you invested in FTX or sorry not invested? Did you have money in FTX or was it just something you heard?
I did not have any cash in FTX.
Got you. Are you into crypto a lot or is it something just kind of on the back burner for you?
Not much. I have some cryptocurrencies, but not a ton.
Got you. Well, as I'm sure you've grown in the space, you've probably met more crazy people. It goes along lines. What's a moment you can recall where you said, "Oh my God, I cannot believe I just met this person."
I met Paul Allen one time at a basketball game, so that was really cool. The ex-Microsoft co-founder. I thought it was
Yeah,
amazing. I was really happy to meet him.
nice. And from that, I guess a lot of people. I have this too, where I've met like some really awesome individuals, and after that, I have this realization of, oh, these are just kind of normal people as well. I didn't think it was going to be that. I feel I can go meet anybody now without the expectation of like or fear.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean.
Yeah. Um. All right, let's go back to the quick fire questions. What is one of your top three favorite cuisines?
Eat a lot of Mediterranean. I like Mexican food. Italian food as well.
Italian food. Why Mediterranean? You say that's interesting because that's my favorite as well.
I like the spreads, like the hummus and the tzatziki and stuff like that.
Got you. A lot of people say it's just more of the health reasons, but I'll take that answer as well. Um, going back to so those questions as well. Your wife, is she also the same ethnicity as you?
Nah, my wife is a mutt. She's mixed.
Okay. So how did that play? I know a lot of people or families get into that. Did that play anything into your family as well, or is it just another thing?
No, my parents didn't care. They were chill and they were just happy I eventually got married.
That's a good Indian answer. I eventually got married. No, I appreciate that. Well, I really do appreciate everything. So I'm gonna end this off with this question right here. And I'm starting this challenge right now with every guest moving forward. So you're the very first guest I'm gonna ask this question to. So I'm starting this new challenge on this podcast where any challenge that you give me that I am able to complete in 1 year, like it's just something I can complete within 1 year, I can complete in 1 week or 1 day. I want you to give me a challenge, something that maybe is personally for me or for this channel. Maybe it's hit 100K subs or a million views or something. Any challenge you want to give that you want to give to me, and I will try to complete it as quickly and efficiently as possible.
Um, if you're not already, be on all the social channels and try to get to at least 10,000 followers by the end of the year. Really relevant people who would be interested in your services. I think that would be a great goal.
Got you. So 10,000 followers across my platforms. We're gonna mark that down
Per channel,
per
10,000
channel.
followers per channel with relevant followers who would be great for your business.
Sounds good. I'll make it happen, and I'll be sure to reach out to you when it's done.
Awesome.
All right. Thank you so much, Neil. I really appreciate your time, and hopefully we can follow up again sometime in the future. But thank you mostly for all the information you provide to not only me but everybody else. It's really, really helped me in more ways than you know to help expand my business and personally take myself to the next level. So really, thank you for all of that, and thank you again for your time.
You're too kind. Thank you for having me.
No worries.